Hello, listening audience. Trá Urban here. Happy Wednesday. It's Laugh and Learn lunchtime with who? Trá Urban. And I am known as the Energy Master. Why? Because after healing myself from paralysis, you guys, I now have the ability to transform all kinds of energy. Not only can I help you with your physical ailments, but definitely with that mental and emotional stuff too. So with that being said, I'm super excited because Miss Malika Staar, my queen, she is here, and we are going to get into some amazing topics and conversations. And she's going to help you get published first and foremost. So of course, that topic of how to get published. Yes, you're going to learn how to do that. But more importantly, we got amazing things to announce. So we're excited to have you here listening in. Please feel free to throw in the chat where you're at. We'd love to know where you're. I'm from Denver, Colorado out here. And now I'm going to pass this mic over to the amazing Malika Staar so she can introduce herself to you, tell you where she's from, and then we're going to get into this amazing topic.
Hi, everyone. My name is Malika Staar, and I hail from, right now, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Newark, New Jersey. And of course, I have to shout out the DMV. That's the DC, Virginia, Maryland area, because I lived there for 23 years and I have an amazing group of friends and family and supporters right there in the DMV. So I don't want to leave out every place I'm from.
That's where my business bestie's from. So I used to think that because I heard on Clubhouse DMV, and I kept going Denver Motor Vehicle, because that's what DMV out here is, Denver Motor Vehicle. And I kept going, they cannot be referring to Denver Motor Vehicle. And then I found out it's the Maryland. It's you guys are in the right next to each other, right?
Yes. So actually the District of Columbia, because it's not a state yet, it encompasses the borderline of Maryland and Virginia. And it's kind of like a diamond, and part of it encompasses parts of Maryland, across the Potomac, and you're in Northern Virginia. So that's where you get the D for District, Maryland, and Virginia.
Yep, I got to explain because I was like, thank you.
Yes.
I know you're not referring to the motor vehicle.
No, I'm not. But the first time I heard it, I was like, what? Because in New Jersey, it's the New Jersey DMV, Division of Motor Vehicles,
exactly.
right? I was like, it's Division of Motor Vehicles.
Thank you. I wasn't the only one. Okay, go back. I interrupted you. So
and I lived there for 23 amazing years.
So now, Queen, tell these people more about you, your amazingness, and then they're gonna know why you're the heat in this conversation. Let's go.
So thank you so much. First, I want to thank you for having me on the show again and trusting me to co-host with you. I find you to be amazing, and every room I pop in, whether it be on Clubhouse, Clapper, LinkedIn, you are doing the thing. I know you just wrapped up your 30 days of me, right? And you did that thing. You showed up every day, no matter anybody showed up. Girl, you gave me some courage because you showed up, whether anybody showed up with you or not. You still read your information, and it's now out there in the universe for anybody to come in and to be and see and do and love and feel your energy. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for what you do to help others heal. And so that's me. I help others heal through writing.
So
writing
important.
is very therapeutic. I got my first journal when it wasn't even a journal because we didn't call them journals back then. It was a diary.
Dear diary.
It was a diary, right? And it had a little key and a little lock to keep that brother out.
Right? Important stuff's in there.
Right. They don't make those anymore. I don't think they make those anymore.
It's rare to find them, but every once in a while you could pick them up at like Hobby Lobby or sometimes, Dollar Tree or somebody just for cutesy. Yeah. I know It's important stuff, even though they weren't real severe locks, and I'm sure anybody could break them, but it was just the
fact that I could keep you out of my
business. It felt safe.
It felt safe. That's what the lock did. It made it feel safe, and I could
Mhm.
put my thoughts. So I've probably been writing ever since I could form a sentence because of that diary. Okay. And then as I grew older, my journals, anything anybody would give me. If you look on my desk, is
Mound,
journals.
mound. I just I
There's
just tapped
journals
all
everywhere.
these ones out. I'm like, get it off, sir, so I could focus.
Calendars, wherever I could write, I wrote. I'm an awesome note taker. So I'd also write notes. Well, I'd be in church, I'd write notes. If I'm in an interview, I'd write notes. I'm just a writer. I love words. I love to
Mhm.
write words. I love to learn new words. And my pastor is always good with challenging us with a newness. She'll drop a word like copious. You're like, okay, we got a new.
Okay, now you got to Google it.
Now everybody's using
Google it.
copious. She said a word in one of the meetings, and even her husband was like, it was like, really? He was like, and what's that mean? And I went and looked online. I was like, okay, let me find out what this word means right here. I forget what it was. It was some kind of crazy word, but it was used in context. And what it did was it challenged me to go out and say, oh, that's a new word. Let me go. I looked it up so that I knew the meaning, that just in case I wanted to use it, I could use it.
And you're a writer. Writers are
Right.
intrigued with words
And I don't like to use the same words over and
over and
over and
over and
over
over.
and over and
Yes,
over and over again.
I
You
appreciate
know, they'll
that.
be like, and, no, but there's
And
however,
so, yeah.
nevertheless, therefore. There are so many different words that you could actually use other than and or but.
When I started writing just a few years ago, because I didn't want to, but it's so helpful. That's what I did. I looked up what are other words for dot 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 whatever it was, because I left school 3 months into my ninth grade year, listening audience. So yeah, there are a little bit of deficits in vocabulary because of the things, and having three kids by the time I was 19, there wasn't a lot of time to be reading or writing. So that
Right.
part of my vocabulary didn't grow.
See,
It's
and see,
growing
I help
now.
you tell that story of having those children at a young age, dropping out of school. How you go from being a high school dropout to now leading others in podcasts and communications. And
Oh,
so it doesn't matter where the story began. It's like, look how it's ending, or look how it's progressing to get to your happily ever after. And so I teach people how to write their happily ever after story. I am these, hold on one second. I am the
I know people.
founder and creator of the Power of Two Marketing Services and Malika Staar Publishing. And so both have their own unique story and how they were created, how they were birthed, and how they are thriving. Like right now, they are carrying me. I'm in between contracts at work, and I'm like, well, I guess I'd be doing my business. People ask me, well, what are you doing? I was like, well, in the meantime, I'm gonna finish writing this book, or I'm going to help somebody else write their book. So I just spent the morning with a client going back and forth with her, because I wanted her to have her vision on paper the way she wanted it to look. And so we just kept going back and forth. Okay, you like this? You like that? Nope. Okay, back to the drawing board. And that's what we did, because I like to work with my clients one on one. I also like to give them a feel that they have a voice in the process of publishing their books, whether it be an ebook, whether it be a journal, whether it be a novel or memoir, and I give my suggestions and my feedback. We have one of my clients. He started off his book. We released his ebook first, and now I'm waiting for his printed copy to come in so we can do
Nice.
our final markups and everything and make sure it's exactly what he wants. And so we have another author coming out. His name is Daryl Peoples, and so we might have to have him on your show.
Hey, I'll bring him on.
And
And
so,
we can have up to 10 people.
oh, awesome!
So if
Yeah.
you ever, yeah, come and bring him. We'll spotlight. We'll do like a writer spotlight, and we'll bring them all on and let
Awesome,
them
awesome.
shine, share their
Yes.
book. And then I have picture in picture here. So if you got their book covers, I could be displaying them. I could, girl,
Awesome. So
StreamYard is
I'm gonna send you
awesome.
all of that stuff. I'm gonna send you all of that stuff so that the next
Yeah.
time I come on, we can show off everyone's books that I've done. So we've got 5 authors under the Malika Staar Publishing brand.
Yay. Oh no. Okay, you guys, she probably got a phone call. So she should be hopping right back in. I am so grateful for you being here, you guys. This is my Laugh and Learn Lunch. I have it every Wednesday. All right. See, I told you she'd be back. You got a phone call, huh?
Okay.
She probably got a phone call. And then it knocks her. But yeah, you're back.
No, my alarm went off. I put on my do not disturb. My alarm still went off. Okay. So we have 5 authors under us. I also have, look, I've got some of our books right here. Look.
See, there you go.
The
There
Need
you
to
go.
Succeed.
Oh, good. And you could see it. It's right. Because I told it to do the mirror thing. Yep. So you could read the stuff. Nice.
Yes.
That is
So
a
that's the Need to
gorgeous
Succeed cover.
image on that cover. Yeah.
Oh, and when you see it, it looks almost 3D. And yes, I can take credit because I designed the cover.
Girl, see, you guys, look at that amazing reflective image.
Yes. And this is our resident chef cook.
I love food.
And this is her full color cookbook. It's called Keep It Simple by Sherry Laurie Rankins. And let me tell you something. Not because she did business with me. I got to give her credit for her own work. But anointed woman of God who knows that she has a gift in the kitchen. And she allowed me to do her cookbook, which was great, right? I did her cookbook, and she was already on television in her local station, her local area of Tallahassee, Florida. So you could look her in at SherryLens.com. I also like to highlight the people that work with me and that trust me and that so into my business to help them get their dreams and their business off the ground. But as you can see, it is a full color cookbook with the recipes and instructions on how to get it done. But you can follow her on SherryLens.com, and she sells her cakes online as well. And she delivered one of her cakes and recorded it. It went viral.
Of course.
It went viral, and now
people love food.
Yes, and celebrities are contacting her, DMs, her assistants and everything. I can't name drop, but she also has some celebrity clients as well. And so I'm very, very happy for my friend Sherry. And let me tell you, so my clients become my friends. So if you hear me say my friend, because we work so great together, we become friends.
Of course.
Right. Because we have to talk. We're going back and forth. This is not right. Let's fix it. So it's like we fix it. We go back through it. We make sure it's good. And then she came out with the recipe journal, which then now helps you capture your favorite recipes and write them down. You get to write your recipes.
Oh my gosh, genius. They actually left a spot for what? For you
to write your own.
That's really smart.
It comes with a shopping list. So there's your shopping list right there. And then you write your recipe here with all the instructions. And so now you have something, instead of having one of those recipe boxes where the recipes get messed up, you got an actual book that you can hand down to your daughter-in-law, your son-in-law, if he likes to cook and he wants to cook for your daughter, or the new daughter-in-law wants to cook for the son, or whatever. You know what I mean? I have a daughter. I might want to leave her a couple of my famous recipes or the things that I like to cook.
I'll give that to my daughter to put her recipes in there, because my daughter, she's a chef. So I'll be like,
we definitely
making recipes for mama, baby.
Yeah, she's definitely
be hooking me up with that hollandaise sauce any day now.
Absolutely. And now the next person I'm about to show you. So we don't just publish we can teach you how to publish your books to make them look like they came out of the big publishing houses. So this is Play Your Game. And this is by, of course, my friend, but client, Dr. Elect
My
Elzora
client friend. So
Watkins.
that's just going to be a new word. My client friend.
My client friend.
My client.
Right. Well, she was my friend before. Well, you know what happened? We met at a workshop, or a coaching session with the Circle of
Doing
Champions.
the thing.
Right. We were at the Circle of Champions. I always like to shout out all the people that poured into my life
That's a
prior to
great
me
event.
being here. So big shout out to Mr. Bob Yates, who was having a Circle of Champions coaching session. Elzora was there, and she said she bought my book twice.
Those are the people I call forward. I know my ideal clients. They keep multiplying. They forget that they even got it, and they come back, and then they buy certificates for their friends because they know how important it is. Or they buy a book for their friends.
Right. Well, no, what happened was I rebranded the book, and like it was some time had passed. Like I went to one Circle of Champions event. I sold my first book. It was me in a schoolgirl uniform, looking like a Catholic schoolgirl and everything. And then I came back and rebranded. And of course, none of my books are around me. I rebranded my book. And so the way I sold it, she wound up buying the two books now that I know better. And she got home and she started reading it for the second time. She's like, wait a minute, I've read this book.
It sounds familiar.
It sounds familiar. Well, anyway, after she did that, she was like, I have to hire you because I have a book in my head. I'm trying to get it out, but I really can't. So we had a session. We had a one-on-one session, and this was before COVID. So we actually had a face-to-face meeting. We got on the board. Nice. We did some web design, some webbing. We did some strategy analysis. We broke some things out, just trying to get out of her head what she wanted her message to be.
Wait, stop. Listen, on. Did you hear all those steps? Those are a lot of steps to really accomplishing a successful book. Did you hear that? That was a lot of steps. Most people think you just write it and somehow it magically creates, but no, all of those levels, all of these targets, all of these things that they had to get clear about.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So of course she's a teacher, but she's a mathematician. Right. And so a lot of her stuff was written in equations. So she is actually the equation coach. Right.
Wow.
But she just needed help getting her words together. So she wrote her own book, but I showed her how to publish it, how to get the right design cover so that her book would look like something. If you saw it in Barnes and Noble, you picked it up. You knew this was published by a big publishing house, right? When you want to buy this, it's colorful. It's simple, it's colorful, it still has some design, some pop. And Elzora's book is on Amazon. So is The Need to Succeed. They're on Amazon, and Sherry's books you can get at sherryslyn.com. But I showed her how to become a publisher. So she owns her own rights to her book. She has control over the revenue streams and her promotions. And so we show you how to do that. So Malika Staar Publishing is not just about telling a story. It's about you pay me to help you get your story out your head and into the pages of life. And so we've been able to do that just for those three. And then I've got several ebook clients that I have helped, two of which were I met right in Clubhouse, and they became my friends, and they became my business friends, as well as being able to help them. Johanna Camp, her book is just 5 minutes, and it just shows you how to take a 5-minute pause out of your day to breathe.
Okay, and so are all people? I have questions about ebooks because people have been asking me so much, and I'm like, I don't know. I've only gotten, I think, one ebook ever in my life, and it was just recently from somebody who was doing a pre-sale in Clubhouse, right? So there's free ebooks, and then there's like ones that people sell for $1, and then there's some for $10, and some all the and on up. So what differentiates an ebook that is is an informational free thing? Is it, and compared to ones that are sellable?
So
So
there's
is it
so all of them are
content or
sellable. All of them are sellable. People decide what they want to do, just like people. I remember one day, and I have this book right here. It's called Ask, right? And this was back in the day when everybody was trying to get your email addresses. So he said, if you go on, he was doing one of those infomercials in the middle of the night. He was like, if you go on, it's Ryan Levisky or whatever, Levisky. Um, he said, if you go online, I'll give you a free book. So this is actually a full 192 page book full of information, right? He
yeah,
just gave it away. Wow. He was growing his email list. He's a digital marketer. He's an info marketer. He wanted emails. So people use different genres to get your your email address is currency. Because if they give you an email and it's something you're interested in, or after you read the book and you go to apply the wisdom and it yields you some money, now you want to work with that person. So
sure,
it's a marketing tool. But if you have some information, like my passion, my new ebook that's coming out is 5 steps to creating an ebook. Just that simple. How to use Chat GPT without plagiarism. How to use Chat GPT, how to format your book, how to
and
use
these are all
Canva.
different books.
And it's an ebook, and it's coming out on digital currency, because you know what, people come in at all different income levels. And so if I sell my book for $20, you can afford that $20, you're still working with me, right? If I give you a free book, then there's something in exchange is you're going to have to give me your email address or your cell phone number, something in exchange for that ebook, right?
Yeah,
So that means if you give me your cell phone number or your email address, then you're also giving me liberty to contact you with any of my other marketing ideas or strategies or things that are coming
sure,
up, and in exchange for your free book. Correct. And then
sure.
you're getting knowledge, and that book is going to have enough information to say whether you want to work with me or not, or it's enough information to at least get you started fulfilling your dreams. So I've covered every obstacle imaginable for
In your new,
anybody that has a business, that has an idea, that has a goal, and they would like to get it written. And so,
nice. And so, are you pre-selling the book you're writing now? You got to start talking about the
yes, we will. Everything is pre-sold.
pre-sales.
Everything is pre-sold. Everything is in a link.
Everything's pre-sale. From the second that you've decided that you're gonna take that whatever it is on, you guys, that's when you start talking about it. That's when you start going, I'm doing this ebook. So if you're interested in this amazing Malika's ebook, well, okay, throw something in the chat, and I guarantee you she'll connect with you. I guarantee you she will make sure that you get that digital currency. I love it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also too, right? Um, a lot of people don't know how to choose publishers.
Oh my gosh, and there's 50 billion of them now.
It's so
50
many.
billion of them now.
And everybody, and now you've got the indie. So I've learned a new terminology. We're not self-publishers, we're indie publishers or indie authors, right? Because we didn't go under the big giant publishing houses, because people don't understand that in
Because we don't
order to
want to
get
give up all of our freaking money
you, and more than that, you
and
don't
your
want to give up your
rights.
money, you don't
And
want to give up your control, you want to have your thoughts, because you also
amen,
can give up
sister.
your control as well, because they can take your idea and spin it any which way they want to. However, big publishing houses do not work with you if you have less than 50,000 followers, or now the
Yeah,
number has
because now
jumped
they're
up.
looking for your social media and all the rest of the stuff.
Yes,
I
yes,
know.
yes.
Girl,
So they're
I've been
making
learning.
money off of something you've built, and you're looking at the $10,000 or $20,000 check they can write you immediately, but you're not looking at the back end of the story. And big publishing houses, I'm not knocking them, they work just like the big record labels.
Exactly.
And so if
They
you
weed
have a
out.
book,
Mhm.
right,
They weed
it's
out the
there.
people who are serious because they know, because now, just like the rest of us, we're looking for people who are showing us that we have the know, like, and trust factor. And if they're known, then they're liked, then people trust them. And if they're known, they got big following. That
Absolutely.
shows so yes. And of
Absolutely.
course,
And
big
so they want to
people.
work with the
Mhm.
people they know that they're going to get a. Yes, Michelle Obama drops a book. You can open the book and it can say spit, and everybody bought the book because of Michelle Obama.
Because of
Right now,
the name.
because of her name. So they already know they're going to sell
No, like,
millions of
trust. No,
copy.
like,
Right.
trust.
Oprah drops a book. They're going to buy
No,
Oprah's
like,
book.
trust. Yep.
T.D. Jakes,
Sold.
Creflo Dollar, Joyce
Les
Myers,
Brown. Yeah.
you name it. They drop a book. People are like, oh, they got rich off the church. No, they wrote a
No.
book, or they had a ghostwriter write their book for them, and they became authors. And because they had such large congregations and followers, those people went out and bought their books and they became bestsellers.
Of course. Of course.
Iyanla Vanzant first book did
I
not
love
meet
it.
the bestseller list until 20 years later.
Mm-hmm.
But her other books, she didn't stop writing
Yeah.
after she wrote her first
So
book.
don't stop just because it doesn't do what you want right away, you guys. Are you hearing that? Don't stop. Because it could come. It don't always have to come right away.
You got to keep writing. You got to keep writing. Now that I know better, now that you know better, there's some series coming
And
out.
don't throw away
now
your
that I know better.
journals. Don't throw away your journals. Don't, because guess what people do now? Repurpose content. Guess what? You got books and books and books and books and
Books and
books
books
full of
and
content.
books and books and books and books and
Oh,
books.
yeah.
I got books and books and books based on your. If you write poems, type up your poems.
Don't throw them away.
Don't throw them away. Type them up.
Even if you don't think they're
and you can
good.
put them in a book. I published a poetry book for one of my clients. So that's number 4, right? I've published her book, Poetry for Life. It was full of inspirational poems, all about God and light, love, energy, compassion. That was her book. And she's free. She'll sell it. It's on Amazon as well. So everybody, all of my publishers are actually on Amazon except for Sherry Lynn. So Sherry Lynn, you have to go to sherrylynn.com to get her book. But I just want to say that everybody is there.
Because why? Self-published.
And no, independently published.
Independently published.
Independently
We're
published.
indie publishers.
Indie publishers. Independent authors. So you
And
control.
you know what's so funny? I just updated because I have Airbnbs, and on one of because I read one of the rooms here in my house, and I just changed it to independent woman. And I don't know what made me get in and add that word, but something made me open up my Airbnb.
But you want to work with people that's always studying and growing. You heard that word somewhere. I heard that word. I was reading an article on the internet. I'm subscribed to different writing genres because I want to make sure that I'm knowledgeable, that I bring the knowledge to people who may not have the time to do the research. I just want to say, because research is time consuming. So I'm reading the articles, I'm finding out the information, and then I'm bringing that back to the people who want to work with me. And so it says, stop saying self-publish it. And I remember my first class I ever taught was how to self-publish better, because I got tired of picking up people books who did their books themselves, and you could tell they did their books themselves. Not insulting anybody. I'm just saying.
No, just saying. You can
Just
tell.
saying. I'm just saying. I'm not calling anybody out, but we can always always improve. My first book cover, I want to laugh.
Real talk is that you could tell the difference between a kindergartner who drew a picture and somebody who's rehearsed and practiced for years and now are in high school or whatever. It
Absolutely.
is the same thing.
The same thing.
When you could just tell the novice
of it.
My
first book,
it's just
evolved.
Truth talk. And if you ain't a real talker, people ain't going to trust you either.
Right. But my first cover, I was like, hey, my schoolgirl uniform on. I post them pictures on Facebook.
Right.
Whoa! But the comments I was getting, it
Mm-hmm.
was cute. It was sexy. You know what I mean? But
Uh-huh.
it wasn't the audience I was looking
Yeah,
for.
it wasn't reflecting the
So I
mirror.
had to repurpose, and now I look like the teacher. And so,
And how did it impact the sales of your book?
well, I mean, it still sold the same way. It's just that I was getting more feedback from the guys than I was from the girls that I
Yeah,
wanted to read
you
the
were
book.
getting more googly eyes than actual, this is a great book context.
Right. They were getting the book. Look, one of my friends, he bought the book.
They were looking at the cover. They didn't get up in the
His
book. Now
girlfriend
your
took the
people get up
book,
in the book.
and he said, I haven't seen it. She took that cover, she threw it in the trash. I'm like, girl, you should have read the book. She wasn't even mad that he had the book. She saw the cover of me, and it was like,
Mm-hmm.
she threw it in the trash.
I'm going to be threatened by a book in my own house. Girl.
So you know, you live and you learn, and you just
Yeah,
said,
you're not
okay, I
trying to
become a
offend
little
people.
bit.
You're just, trying to be, I don't know. And that made you feel like you looked good. There was a reason why you put it on your cover.
I felt good in both covers. I felt good in both covers. I'm not even gonna lie. I felt good in both covers, but I
Yeah.
also realized who I wanted to attract. And my
Yeah.
niche market were women who had gone through some of the things that I had gone through, who made mistakes, who or not even made mistakes. Life happened to them the way it happened to them. Some controlled, some
Yeah.
uncontrolled, some due to our own rebellion, some due to misinformation, because I want to say we were misinformed about a lot of
A
things,
lot of things.
and so some was misinformation and some of it was rebellion. My mom was an educated woman, and she tried to give me the best of the knowledge she had, but because I didn't trust her and I didn't think she knew what she was talking about, although she was 25 years older than me and went through 25 years of life ahead of me, it wasn't only until I was 43 that
She's
I
still your mom.
actually paid attention to what she had to say, that she might know what she was thinking of and doing. Right. So I put that in my best lessons. I put them in 12 chapters of, my faux pas, my truths, my mistakes,
Initiations. I
my
call them initiations. All the initiations we go through to gain this wisdom that we carry, that we now share with others.
yes. Now that I know better, you know what I'm
Know
saying?
better,
If
you do
I
better.
know what I knew, if I know now at 52, what I knew, what I should have known at 22, oh, my life would have just turned out a whole lot more better. But who knows? Because life would have still
It would have just been
happened.
different, baby. That's
It
what
would have
people
been
go.
different.
There's no better or worse. There's just
Yeah,
different.
because everything happened the way it was supposed
You
to.
would have, yeah, you would have still had challenges in life. You would have still had
You
a
still
flat
got things to
tire. You would have
overcome.
still got, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I take the best of my rebellion and the best of my mother's wisdom, and I put it together in a book called Now That I Know Better.
Sandwich that.
There it is.
So you
I
can
got
keep it
chapters
up.
in there. I hope you come up with catchy titles. So I got a chapter in there called When You Lay Down with Dogs. My grandmother used to say that all the time. Did your grandmother say that? My grandmother used to say,
No, but I've heard that
lay
before. I
down with
have heard it
dogs.
before. And do you guys get the meaning of that? Laying down with dogs.
You get
Just
fleas.
saying.
You get
Sometimes,
fleas. You get fleas. But here's the thing.
but
I
sometimes
didn't
we
just
do. We
talk
want to just.
about, and I know people think
We'd
about,
rather be all up in the dirt than get up and get out your way.
and people think that I was just talking about boys as being dogs. But no, I talked
No.
about situations in life that can be doggy situations in our lives. And there's difference between a pet dog, which is laying right here next to me, and then a stray dog
Yeah,
who's
that
been
you're
out in
laying
the
out in the dirt.
wild, right? And they haven't been to the doctor and got no rabies shot and no flea shots or any of those things. They're not as like lovable, pet dogs that you get groomed and you take to the doctor and you take care of. They're wild, and some of our decisions can lead us with fleas,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I talk about that, and now that I know better, but more than that, I help my clients dig deep into their story and give them metaphors for their lives. Like Elzora, when we sat down and did her book, she loved to play racquetball. So we wrote her book around a racquetball game. Her metaphor of the racquetball, 15 points to hitting your winning shot, and she gives you 15 strategies to making sure that your life is on track, on point, how to overcome life as it happens. I
Yeah.
love Kevin's book. Kevin Harris's book, The Need to Succeed. This book right here. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. Look how thin it is. It's 56 pages. You don't have to have a big, thick book to tell
No,
your
and
story.
my bestie likes them better. My business bestie, she was like, I'm the kind of person I don't need to hear all the big story. Just get to the point.
Right.
She's
Because
like a get to the point person. And I'm like the story person. So when she reads these books, she's like, oh man, and the forever chapter. That's what she calls it. She's like, and the forever chapter. The books with the forever chapters, because she would prefer that book where you just get to the point and let her get on with their life.
tell my friends. So some of my friends are watching. So tell my
Hi,
friends
friends.
about your book. Tell my friends about your book.
What book?
Your book.
I'm gonna get a book.
Oh, we
I
gotta
don't.
talk when we get off of here. How we in
Oh,
here
I know.
talking about books?
Because I
And you're not.
I'm calling
Hey,
Word the ghostwriter.
I am. We
No,
gonna
but you
have
know
to
what's
talk.
with ebook I am starting to write, and this is where I've been deciding. I've been toggling because some people are like, and the more wisdom you seek, the more information you're going to get. So
Absolutely.
I have half of the people saying, use it as something free. I have the other half saying, sell it for like $1.99 or whatever. So the book that I'm creating is um the 5 requirements, or I haven't really come up with the word. I
You
have
don't
it
have to
written
release
somewhere,
the. We'll
but
we'll release the title after you get the
yeah,
copyright on it and stuff
yeah.
like, and you write it down and you clear. But
Because
you
and I have the steps written, because what it is the 5 things that help me to heal from the paralysis. Like really what the 5 keys to healing.
wow. So now I'm gonna start
And
interviewing
then it's
you.
going to be, and I already know the rest is going to be from the woman who was paralyzed and you know can now walk. That's the going to be the thing, the 5. So but yeah, I have the thing written out, but the title hasn't come because again I get, and I'm like
It's
the
a
rest of you
process.
guys, these things they stop me from moving forward, and it's not beneficial to the people who need to know this message. That the people, do you know how many people are desperate like me to know that they could heal from paralysis, from anything, from really anything? Yeah. And so while I'm sitting here
Physical and mental paralysis.
spinning, yeah, and so that's, and my real book about my story of paralysis, I had already come up with the title forever, but I haven't wrote the book. So see, now I have one that I have the book pretty much written, a little ebook, but I don't have the title, and the other one I have the title, don't have the book. That's the one I'm really calling for, like a ghostwriter. Because okay, so for me, I feel like I'm a run-on sentence, and I don't know where I should start. I don't want it to be too much. I don't want, I don't think how much of this needs to be in this part of the story. You know what I mean? So this is where when
Malika comes in. This is where Malika
yes,
comes into
to
play,
give me
because what I do is I give you
to put
structure to write your
punctuation.
story. Or if you give me a paragraph and if the paragraph is all one sentence with 20 different words in it, I know where to go in and put in the punctuation to stop the thought from being the run on and turn it into multiple different sentences. So you can have a run on sentence all you want to, but a good writing coach can go in and read your thoughts and say, "Oh, I know what you meant to say." And
Yeah, how
even
to
ask you,
structure it.
right, and how to
Yeah,
structure it out so that it makes sense not just to you but to the reader. And so that's what a lot of my clients come in and do. And some of it is ghostwriting. So I do ghostwriting and have ghostwriting services. I also have just content editing, where I go in and I take your words and just make sure, like you said, it has the right punctuation. Is it a period or a question mark? Is it semicolon or a colon? You know what I mean? Should this
Yeah.
all be? I remember one person, I was reading their book, and I swear the paragraph was as long as the page. No, wait a minute, hold up. We got 5 different thoughts in here. So
Yeah.
let's break it up into the paragraphs. So that's what I do as well. That's part of our
Amen.
editing services that we offer. We offer ghostwriting services. We are working on our retreat. We had to stop working on the retreat when COVID came,
Yeah.
but we are having a writer's retreat where you'll be able to come in, bring your pad, your pencil, your laptop, and then we go through and actually go through with you in an undisturbed environment. Get your thoughts out your head, go through some meditation to relax, to come in, to breathe, because we also feel, and this is everybody that I've worked with, as they started writing that book, it became therapy. It became, especially when you're writing a memoir. There were times, even when I was writing my book, and then me and my mom were reading my book together, we both sat there, we were just crying, because there was some sentimental moments in that space that just made me, I felt free after I wrote my book in actuality, because it had been, you'll hear your pastor say, there's a book locked up inside of you. You know what I mean? And sometimes people even don't even understand they have a book locked up inside of them. And until they get it out, they're in prison, they're paralyzed. You know what I mean? Because that's part of their purpose. You know what I mean?
And you know what you're doing also? You're blocking your abundant flow,
Blocking
because
the
you
flow.
went through that experience so that you could write the book, so that you could then talk about the book and get the benefits from the book for the flow it's like a reciprocating thing,
There
right?
it is,
Because
right
then
there.
people want to know how, and then you could potentially create workbooks around it, and then you could potentially have speaking engagements and do more and more and more and more money. What? Based on that one book.
That one book, I've made more money teaching people than that one book has brought me thus far. Because my book, I'm still speaking into existence. It will hit the New York Times bestseller list. And I've also gone in to do the research to tell you what it takes to make the bestseller list, with on Amazon and on New York Times, how to get there, how to get on those lists,
There's your
how to
method.
still win, how to not give your book away for free and still get on the bestseller list. How about
Yeah,
that? Because
yeah,
some people teach that. Or you chasing after bestseller lists and you give your book away and you didn't make any
yeah,
money, and you
yeah.
don't even know who purchased the book to get on the bestseller list. Just no, there's a structure and there's a plan to winning in this game. And so we teach the game and we teach the strategy so that you win and you're not playing
Win.
on the opposite side. I've also had people who work with some of these other publishers, and I'm not naming names or anything like that, and I'm not knocking what they do, but sometimes you don't want to have to buy 1,000 of your books until you know that you've
Yeah,
got
the
people that are going to
minimum
buy them.
requirements are
So you
insane.
might want to now, unless you know you got a 1,000 followers and all 1,000 followers
They're
going
going
to
to eat
buy
them up
your
right
book,
away.
then order your books, right? But if you got 1,000 followers and doing the numbers and know that only 1 to 10% are actually going to buy from you, that means out of your 1,000 friends, only maybe 10 to 100 people are going to buy from you. Being realistic, unless you
Real
are
talk, guys.
a social media follower genius, but I'm talking to the
And even
newbies.
then, people ain't going to spend the money. They just are following you because they just like you, like to look at you. Going back to that image of you, they like the image, they like the thing, and trust me, I have thousands of followers across all my different platforms, and that doesn't always equate to like every single one of them being a purchaser. One might get this little part, one might get this little part, but in the end, no, ain't all of them gonna be like. And girl, so this is so important. We only have a few minutes left. So you guys, she's having an amazing event where you can level up. And guess who's going to be at the event Saturday? Because guess who needs to get their publishing on? All right. So I have put across the screen right here. Okay. I
Okay.
want you to get this website, or it's in the chat for those of you who are on, Facebook or LinkedIn, or one of the ones where you can see the chat, because I know some of you guys don't get to see the chat, nor can you comment or do anything. But there's the link. I want you to go and get signed up. It's this Saturday. Miss Malika, tell us the time and how long, and all the juicy juice.
So yes, so I am hosting a virtual workshop, and it is what you need to know before you hire a publisher. Right. So you get the information so you can make an educated decision on who you don't have to work with me. I had somebody interview with me and then they text me and said, I thought I should let you know I went with somebody else.
Hi, Michael.
You know, who I'm going to still say you better win. You know what I mean? If you go with another publisher, but you want to be in this event, if you're thinking about writing a book, if you're thinking about publishing a book because you want to know what the process is, you want to know what you're paying for when you get with some
Or
of
what
these
you
publishers,
should be paying for.
or what you
Do you
should
know
be
how
paying
many
for,
people get
and what
ripped
you
off?
should not be
Ripped
paying
off!
for.
Yes.
And what you should not be paying for, and what the overcharge is. You know, like I've met people who really have paid 10,000, 15,000.
Yes.
One team. And I'm not knocking nobody's hustle. Okay? Because I got a nice little $10,000 package up there as well. But it also includes going away to something fancy
Yeah,
and
it
really
includes a
deep
lot more than
diving.
some
You know what I
people.
mean?
It
Yeah.
includes way more than what these people got for that money.
Right. And I actually, one of my clients that I'm working with now, he says I paid $10,000 for my first book to get written, and those people did not even do half the stuff that you do with me to help me get my next book written. You know what I mean? And so, also know, I have a friend who published a beautiful book, and I won't expose it now. But when we opened the book up, her book cover was phenomenal, right? Her content was great. But then when the publisher laid the book out, it wasn't copy edited. So she literally has 2 paragraphs on each page, spaced out, no margin set, no.
So then it looks
And
horrible
then
on
you
the
pay
inside.
somebody to do this, right? But you paid somebody to do this for you, or they said I could publish a book for you, but they don't understand. I know how to copy edit because I am going to make sure when you open your book up, the margins are set right. It's a readable font. You know what I mean? It's a readable font, but it's one that you actually can see if you, normal,
Yeah, for
the
some of
normal
us who are
points
of a certain age and
and certain
eyes
age. I mean, you still might need your reading glasses,
appreciate.
but for the most part, you can read your book. I mean, I had another friend, they independent published. You open their book, and I swear it was like reading fine print. Like, who published it? So my why is bigger. I want everybody to have a book that's going to, number one, make an impact. Number one, it's going to tell a good story or get straight to the point, because Kevin's book gets straight to the point on what the disciplines you need in order to succeed. And that success does not always look like the big fancy cars. Because I think you was in that room this morning on Breakfast with Champions when they said, oh, y'all paper chasing after people thinking success is driving a Bentley and rolling in a airplane and all this other stuff that they don't own. Now, Grant Cardone may own his plane, but some of the other ones, they rent those cars for
Of
their
course,
photo shoots. And
they just like Uber. You could do that with airplanes, and you could have shared airplanes where they all pay a portion, and then you have a calendar. Girl, just like anything else, yes, I discovered it. Why? Because I'm getting to those plane men. That's it. I'm manifesting my plane people and getting on
absolutely.
my
And
own.
there's nothing wrong with that. But if
Mhm.
you're sending out false messages of what success really looks like,
Yeah.
then you know what? That's not cool
And
either.
me, I'm sending out creative experiences for something I want to experience, which is very different than feeling like the goal is obtaining that. No, and the goal for me is helping as many people as I can for the rest of my life to find peace, to feel fulfilled, to release the depression, the anxiety, to heal from those ailments, right? So that you can enjoy and believe that you can experience magical moments.
Right. or
Gotta
just move, and just moments where you feel, um those moments where you feel free. You know what I mean? Like the burdens of life have been lifted up off of your shoulder. You don't feel like you want to commit suicide, or you don't feel like you want to drink your way into happiness because you're in a total euphoria of a life, because life is rough and life gets the laughs and there's disappointments on every side. But how do you find that peace and that comfort and that joy that passes all understanding through going through healing practices? I'm
Mhm.
very candid. I have a show that I do on um, Facebook every Sunday night, just about every Sunday night. It's called Nothing But the Truth, where I also, so if you follow me on you follow me on Facebook under Malika Staar, you will see that live broadcast. It's called Nothing But the Truth. I come on every Sunday around 9ish, depending on what the day is looking like. Between 9 and 9:30, I come online and I do a live broadcast where I kind of encourage people how to face the truth of their situation or their circumstances, and it came birthed out of some boo leaving me and just breaking my heart and just going through all these cycles. And then in the middle of that, just saying, you know what, God, I'm going to not focus on that right now. I am going to focus on you and put my focus on you, put my focus on my business, put my focus on me, my children,
On
and
something
see what
positive.
happens. And see what happens from that. And from that, it just opens so many other doors. And kind of like 2 or 3 years into the process, God had healed my heart. I was able to manifest the love of my life. I was able to manifest a home, a relocation, everything. I left one state, packed up my kids, moved to another state. So it was something that we could have for everybody, and that at the end of the day, I was free. I was free from people's opinions. I was free of, and even still, even in relationships, sometimes I got to remember my love yourself, Malika. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that can
You
let that
first.
companion be the companion. You know what I mean? But own you who you are, and don't lose
Yes.
grip of that, because we become servants to whatever relationship we're in and everything
Mhm.
like that. And just be at peace with it. And God knew when he was sending me, he sent me somebody that was patient, number one, because you
Amen,
have to be.
Jesus.
Right? She sent me somebody that was patient, and he sent me somebody that was kind and gentle and drama free. You know what I
Nice.
mean? So he had went through his healing process as well. And then all the other stuff came in. The job, at one point I was working 3 jobs. I was making 6 figures, but I was working 3 jobs to make them 6 figures. But at that same time, a girl is.
I know,
But
girl.
now he's giving me a pause, and instead of getting upset in that pause, I'm like, oh my God, where's my income coming from? Lord, don't you know I just bought a house? Well, God, you just made it sure that I was going to buy a house. So I know you're going to make sure that I'm sustained while I'm here, that I won't lose anything. I won't get depressed in the process, and I will be able to thrive. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
go out, buy books, sign up for workshops,
Mhm.
hire me for a coaching. I still got bills to pay, but I will work with you and I will help you get those words out your head and onto paper.
This is so exciting, you guys. Okay, so Saturday. This Saturday, what time?
From
9,
10
but like Central, Eastern.
Eastern time, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. So
Okay,
that means even if you live on the West Coast, you can get up at 7 o'clock. You would get up at 7 o'clock to go to a
I'd have
job.
to get up at 8. I'm Mountain.
So see, mountain time, right? You get up, it's online. You can put on your pajamas. I might ask you to turn on your cameras for a little while, but then you can go off and turn your cameras off and just listening to the feedback. Also, if you sign up for the program yet you're not able to attend, you can get the recording of the program.
Yes.
And
So
we've got
just sign
two great
up.
sessions, right? We got two great things. So it's $17 to get the information, right? And then if you want to level up and become a VIP, so the VIPs will also get a 30-minute, a free 30, well, not free, but they'll get a reduced
They'll get a
discount to be able to come in and have that one-on-one 30-minute conversation with me to help them get started in their writing process, or to help them get to the next level. If they've already written their book, get it edited, get it published, get it on the table so that people can actually see what you're doing and know what you're doing and support what you're doing. The universe will support you. It's the field of
Yes, your
dreams. If
message.
you build
You
it,
have your message because it's for a reason.
if you build it, they will
It's to be
come. They will
delivered. Your
buy.
message is supposed to be delivered.
They will
Deliver your
come. They will
message.
buy. And wait, it may not always come from the people you expect it to.
Exactly.
Strangers will come into your life and they will buy your book. It's the field of dreams. If you build it, they will come.
They
If you
will
write
come.
it, they will read it. And I've had people that have read my book and come back and say, girl, this is powerful. When the next book coming out? They still waiting for the next book.
That's
They
right.
still waiting for the next book.
That's right.
And I
There you-
paused to go help some other people write their book.
Yeah.
So on this 90-day break from my contract, I think I'm gonna finish writing my book, the next book, and get that out. So this summer, by my birthday,
Yeah.
when love comes around again, will be out, and it's a collaborative. So that's another way to become an author. Collaborate with somebody else on their project. So if you have a broken to better relationship story that you would like to sell, meaning you went through a crazy relationship and it was might have been tumultuous or dysfunctional or whatever, and then God blessed you with that happily ever after. I want to hear your story. I want to hear your story. I want to put it in a book and publish it for you. So you should contact me about that as well.
For
And
sure.
you can get that if you go to meetmalikastaar.com. That's my 10K cards. And there's all my social media, how to contact me, how to donate to our cause, how to reach me, how to get a 10K card yourself. And then we can go from there. Schedule a meeting with me so that we can discuss how to get you further. And join us on Saturday. That event is going to be in depth. You're going to walk away with knowing how to choose a publisher you want to work with.
That's for sure. All righty, Miss Malika Staar. It has been amazing having you here. I love your energy. I love you visiting. I am so grateful that we got to get this message out. You guys, your story is important. Your message is important. So get with Miss Amazing Malika Staar so that you can start your journey of getting your voice heard and validated because you went through it for a reason. We want to hear it. People are waiting to get the keys to figure out how they could get through it too. So this is Trá Urban. I have been coming at you with this crazy Wednesday trade talk on my Laugh and Learn lunch with the amazing Malika Staar. So you guys, this is her website. You guys hit her up, go there anytime, get all the information about her right here, right here, right here. And I will love to see you guys. Whether you see me on the Clubhouse streets, on the new Clapper thing, you guys, I'm going to be blowing up this Clapper thing. Clapper thing is going to be
Clapper pays you.
Yes, Clapper pays you. I'm going to be doing a live after this. I'm going to hop off. I'm going to be doing a few because I'm getting ready to go hard on the Clapper. And we're getting ready to do an event to learn more about Clapper. So with that being said, it has been a blessing to see you guys. Thanks to everyone who's come in, who's scrolled through. I know this is the time. People aren't here to stay for a long time, but we're here for the hour. We're going to hit it and quit it. Thank you for your time. Please get with Miss Malika Staar. And until next week, I send you so many blessings, confidence and courage, and light to illuminate your way. Big hug, everyone.